Battlefield. The name carries with it a weight that comes from starring some of the best games the gaming industry has ever seen. From Battlefield 1942 to Battlefield 2, this series has made its place in gaming history. Battlefield has done this by concentrating on providing something the competition didn't. Big maps, larger player counts, and great action is how it took the world by storm. With those three aspects creating a perfect formula for great gameplay, it is no surprise that the Battlefield series has come to be loved by millions of gamers around the world. So how does Battlefield 4 measure up? Does it deliver on the promises of great destruction? Are the maps going to be remembered? Is this game going to be a fan favorite? Well, let's find out in the ReviewDog Battlefield 4 review. The graphics in this game are really good, like really damn good. Obviously there are better visuals to be had in the single player, so let's analyze the graphics for the single player and the multiplayer. As far as single player goes, this game looks downright amazing, especially the character models. Dunn, Hannah, Irish, and Pack all have so much detail. Even the characters who aren't part of the squad have great detail. Just look at this soldier. Seriously, he looks damn good. In general, most other aspects look better in single player as well. The processing, lighting, and effects are more pronounced and come together in a way to provide a high quality visual experience. As for the multiplayer, even though it loses some quality from the single player, it still looks damn good. But there is a plus side to a less graphically intensive multiplayer. The trade-off is that for a somewhat weaker looking multiplayer, you get a powerful multiplayer game with large maps and 64 players. In general, the overall game features strong textures, from metal doors in aircraft carriers to the insides of office buildings. You can tell DICE has really paid attention to the detail of the textures. There are some exceptions, of course, as with any game. For Battlefield 4, however, that's the exception, not the rule. The lighting in this game is also top-notch. Often the graphics and the lighting all line up perfectly to create some really cinematic moments. Lighting can also be affected by triggers and levolution. Some of the multiplayer maps take place during various times of day. For instance, Zavod 311 is during the evening, with the sun almost down in the background, while Golmud Railway takes place during the afternoon while the sun is in the middle of the sky. Various positions for the sun means that the lighting will provide a unique look for the map and the opportunity for some cool looking moments. In my opinion, the map that best exemplifies this is Paracel Storm. The map features weather events that takes the map from a somewhat bad weather to full-blown storm. The lighting combined with the already pleasing look of the map and the weather events can bring in some really good looking views for you to enjoy. The HUD is nice and simplistic. I mean, your screen can still fill up with glowing dots from marked players and objectives, but it's never really an issue. When it comes to your loadout, the HUD features 4 small boxes at the bottom. These boxes will tell you the associated number key for weapon accessories and its current state, the 2 gadgets you're carrying like C4 defibrillators, and your firing mode. There's one aspect of the HUD that can possibly be an issue in the single player. In the majority of the single player, there is a bar in the upper right corner for battle log. It will tell you what button you press to access battle log, how many friends you have online, and more. It's okay in multiplayer, but it really seems out of place in single player. Except for the in-game cinematic moments, it's always present on your screen. Your squad can be fighting with each other, talking about doubts, a real nice moment, and you still have that bar in the corner, displaying irrelevant information, sometimes expanding to tell you that a friend has joined the server. It can really take you out in a moment, which is funny because DICE wanted to make the campaign more emotional. I know it's not the biggest deal, and you sometimes forget it's there, but there simply isn't a reason why you shouldn't have the option to turn it off. There is some great sound in this game, featuring several effects for what is happening in the game. The guns in the game sound powerful, and it makes sense. DICE took to recording various weapons in Sweden, which is a really nice touch and adds a lot to the game. They also went around recording various ambient effects, alarms, and for accuracy, even having one sound designer trying to simulate drowning to get the sound just right. All of the work on the sound comes together in a great way. Firefights and explosions sound tense, the soldiers yelling for a medic or calling out a spotted enemy. You can swim in the water, pushing yourself along, hearing your soldier pushing on the water with his arms. Then you dive underwater for this muffled effect, kind of creating this really creepy effect. Or hiding behind cover while being shot at. hearing the crack of enemy fire while it zooms right by your head. This game really puts you in the moment, that's for sure. DICE talked about wanting a more emotional single player for Battlefield 4, with characters you will care for and remember. I for one think they accomplished their goal. To an extent, it's no Mass Effect where you build a deep connection with your squad mates, but you will find yourself caring about the characters. It helps to have professional actors playing the squad you're with in the game. These actors are Andrew Lawrence as Pac, Jessica Vann as Hannah, and Boardwalk Empire's Michael K. Williams as Irish. The actors do a great job portraying their characters, which allows you to get a really good feel for their personalities. The story is good. It's not pushing the boundaries of interactive storytelling, but it has personality, and I really liked it. In the game you play as Sergeant Daniel Recker, your squad mates Staff Sergeant William Dunn, Staff Sergeant Kimball Graves, and Sergeant Clayton Pakovsky? Sergeant Clayton's not really important. Anyway, the US is at war with Russia, sparked by the events in Battlefield 3. Your squad is thrown into the middle of a military coup by a Chinese admiral named Chang. You start the game with an explosive first mission, taking place in Baku, Azerbaijan, gathering crucial military intelligence. Your path has you playing an extremely important role in dealing with the delicate situation in China. As you are working your way through the story, you will visit a range of locations, mostly in China, which can provide some nice scenery. Some of the locations are pretty cool and uncommon, including a fleshed-out aircraft carrier to a massive dam. There is even a mission that includes some fighting on an armed military boat, but it is in a very long section. Overall, the campaign will last you around 5 to 7 hours, which is a good length for a game that is so multiplayer focused. There are also some unlockables in the campaign, like picking up weapons to have access to them via weapon crates throughout the campaign. There is one type of unlockable that might annoy those that do not want to play the campaign. That type of unlockable is that you receive some weapons for use in multiplayer by playing through the campaign. Most of the campaign will be spent fighting on foot, which isn't certainly a complaint, seeing as how good the gameplay is. There are only a few instances where you take control of a vehicle, and none of them are on rails, so that's a plus. However, the vehicle sections aren't very long either, which is disappointing because of the opportunities that Battlefield games offer. I get that DICE wanted to make a campaign with a more emotional tone, and when in vehicles, you can't see your squad or they're hardly visible, which can detract from the attachment. Given that, however, other games have done vehicle sections and found ways to make it emotionally engaging at the same time. In the end, I would recommend a playthrough of the single player for those who are on the fence about playing it. Alright, the part everyone has been waiting for, Battlefield 4 multiplayer. The multiplayer offering in this game is, to simply put it, awesome. The multiplayer at launch features 10 maps, with more to come in future DLC releases. The maps provide varied environments that are really interesting to fight in. For example, Hainan Resort takes place at a tropical resort, featuring a giant hotel in the middle, surrounded by little islands and waterways, and some mainland. For this map, the Revolution event is the hotel. Specifically, the sides of the hotel collapse if certain parameters are met. The island and waterways provide opportunities for people to swim, jet ski, or take a boat for fast access to the inner areas of the map, high-speed ambushes, and more. If you don't want to take watercraft or swim, you can take an LAV around the map. It floats, and let's just say people don't really stand a chance. The mainland areas provide a nice hilly area and a few structures, both of which are great for covering and fire positions. Another map, called Dawnbreaker, is the complete opposite setting of Hainan Resort. Dawnbreaker takes place in a large city environment, providing an urban area for players to fight over. The map features several large buildings and roadways, and there are several paths that go into sections of some buildings. No, you can't visit each floor of each building, but you can go to a patio area to get the height advantage on a capture point, or you can take cover inside of a restaurant and hide from a tank that's been stalking you. These are just some of the options provided by the buildings with inside areas. This map provides great opportunities for fast-paced urban warfare, with many places that serve as great firing and cover points. The main Revolution event is a giant pipe in the middle of the map, parked right in between the main roadway. If players activate the event, the pipe will explode. This in turn makes a bridge in the map collapse onto the capture point below. These two maps are just two examples of the variety you can expect from the other 8 launch maps. There are certainly maps which will provide a more open or closed battlefield to fight on. People who love working as a team will be happy. In multiplayer, Squads can hold up to 6 people, and there is squad VoIP. 6-person squads will help those who want to play with friends or coordinate with more people. VoIP only works to extend the possibilities of teamwork. And so far, using the in-game VoIP, I haven't encountered any problems, so it should be a solid option for all. The weapon system and unlock system have both been changed for the better. In Battlefield 3, some classes were restricted to certain weapon types. In Battlefield 4, the rules on which class can use what weapon have been relaxed a lot. All the classes can use marksman rifles, carbines, and shotguns. This goes a lot to increase the variety of the game, and provides the option for players who prefer a specific class to change up their gameplay. The way the unlock system has changed has made it a lot easier to earn new weapons if you usually play the 1 or 2 classes you prefer. How this works is that if you use a specific type of weapon for a while, you gain points for that specific weapon types. So if you use light machine guns a lot, you will unlock more light machine guns when you level up the support class. This is a nice change to the unlock system, ending the endless grinding to gain levels one by one to eventually gain the weapon you like. There are a few more offerings as far as the multiplayer game modes go. The new game modes consist of Obliteration and Defuse. Obliteration consists of 2 teams of up to 32 players, fighting over a bomb that is placed around the middle of the map. Each team has 3 objectives it has to defend and attack. For example, if the US team picks up the bomb, they must bring it to one of the Russian team objectives, arm it, and protect it until it detonates. Defuse, on the other hand, is a little different than this. The teams are fighting over specific IMCOM stations, with a twist. In this game mode, the players only get 1 life per round, and are only able to be revived once. It's nice to see the Battlefield series still finding new ways to spice up the Battlefield formula after all this time, ensuring that there is a game mode that everyone will enjoy. The spawn map is the best in the series so far, featuring an overview map with a UAV video feed feel to it. You can choose to spawn on the provided points or choose from one of your squad mates to spawn from. When choosing from squad members to spawn on, you will be given a live video feed of their point of view, so you can see what's happening just in case it's not safe to spawn on them. When choosing to spawn on a capture point, the video feed will show you an overview of the capture point, so you can also see what's going on there. This is a new and really helpful feature that will make sure that the players are the ones to blame when they spawn on someone and get killed right away. People who love customization will love Battlefield 4. The game features tons of weapons and vehicles. Each weapon has a number of unlocks to earn, with the accessory count for each weapon more relaxed. You can create a more powerful combinations of accessories for each weapon. Vehicles each have a number of unlockables to change around to create an even more effective view. There are also a lot of camouflages for the player to unlock, all of which can be applied to main weapons, pistols, and vehicles. Commander mode makes a return to the Battlefield series. Absent from Battlefield 3 and creating quite the uproar, it's back and better than ever. Players can take control of the commander position, giving up fighting on the ground. Commander can do many things to assist their team to victory, like calling in a UAV to scan for enemies, or calling in a cruise missile strike, which is quite devastating. Gameplay consists of either infantry or vehicle fighting. Each map contains certain vehicle types. Some offer boats and jets, while others offer tanks and artillery trucks. The infantry combat is great, with various weapon types that can be used for the many different types of situations that can come up in a Battlefield game. You can use sniper rifles for long distance killing, or shotguns for those rounds where you want to be up close and personal. For multiplayer, each weapon has a number of unlocks that can provide a benefit to the weapon. Some will add a deficit to balance it out. For example, one accessory will stop muzzle drift when fired in short bursts, but go full auto and you will be shooting all around your target. For those who prefer medium to close range combat, some weapons will feature accessory slots that allow for a scope on top, with iron sights that sit on the side at an angle. Pressing the T button for PC players will switch between the 2 sights, allowing for a better chance to survive changing situations. Health is regained by either regenerating it while hiding for a few seconds, or through med packs from teammates. In hardcore mode, however, health won't regenerate and you will need to find a medic. The vehicles have a nice selection to choose from, including some new vehicles added in. Some new vehicles are the jet ski and patrol boat. The jet ski allows for high-speed movement on the waterways, and the patrol boat provides a mobile platform that carries a lot of firepower. Besides the patrol boat's armaments, it also has 2 jet skis hooked up to the back. If you are taking heavy damage and need an escape, just hit a button and you're on your way. Each vehicle has a number of unlocks to choose from to help in various situations. For the anti-air vehicle, you can change missile types. For example, one will have less damage but it is self-guided. The other missile has more damage but you need to stay locked onto the jet until impact. While jets can unlock stealth coding, which makes the time needed for a missile lock increase, providing extra time to escape. Alright, time for the last part of this review. This is covering bugs that are present at least 1 week after launch. Apparently the PC version has the most problems, and I know them firsthand, so that's what I'll be addressing. However, I had heard reports of console players dealing with some freezing and crashing. Anyway, only patient people should be playing Battlefield 4 right now. The number of issues can be infuriating, mostly crashing. I have crashed several times in the middle of a match, losing all the points I've made, making promotions take more time to get. This can be especially worrying if you are playing a game without a time limit and a hard objective, because you do not want to lose all the points you've gained during an hour-long match. There is a glitch with the sound, which will cause a lot of the sound of the battlefield to simply stop. This can last anywhere from a few seconds to my highest of around 30 seconds. This is really irritating because it takes away so much that contributes to the Battlefield experience. Sometimes it can line up with what's going on to make it sound like the silence before the storm, and that's pretty cool admittedly. But that doesn't happen too often and I'd rather have functioning sound. The in-game chat can be slow. Sometimes what you type will show up 20 seconds later, which can be really bad if you are trying to get important information or coordinate with others. The netcode for the multiplayer, while improved, still has one annoying issue. It is still possible to die when you run behind cover. Many people hate this, including myself.
I'm up.
Often when you get promoted, it will flash your new rank and badge on the screen several times. My number is usually around 3 times. Sometimes the kill cam can glitch out and it looks like the camera is having trouble deciding what to concentrate on. So it sometimes very rapidly flashes several views on your screen instead of who killed you. In single player, if you don't have a fast hard drive, some parts of the level will not load on time to create some pretty funny moments, leaving you wondering just what the hell happened and what the scene was supposed to look like. Also, loading the game level can cause low frame rates during the cutscenes, which is unfortunate because the cutscenes in the game look outstanding. So, what is the verdict for Battlefield 4? For the console versions, I am giving it a buy verdict. Now, I haven't played it on the console myself, but from what I have heard, the problems are only happening every once in a while. If you can deal with some freezing and some crashing, and want to get Battlefield for your favorite console, or a next-gen console, I say go for it. For the PC version, if you have a good amount of patience and forgiveness, I'm going to give it a buy verdict, but be aware there are a lot of bugs. If you are easily annoyed by bugs, then for you I'm going to give this game a pass rating until the game is fixed. Alright everybody, that's the end of the ReviewDog review of Battlefield 4. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you next time.
Just close your eyes, it said to me. One time won't hurt, just trust me.